Hi, I'm Kezia Hall here at Supernaturally Healthy, and today I'm going to share with you and explain a bit more around the mysterious food that is fermented cod liver oil. Now, I heard of fermented cod liver oil probably just over a year ago, thought it sounded a wee bit weird, wasn't too sure what it was, then also saw the price tag, saw that it was very high and thought it was just a bit of a food fad. And actually over the last probably 18 months I've come to learn otherwise, and today I'm just going to explain a bit more about it. So fermented cod liver oil, and the bottle often looks like this. You can get it in liquid or capsules. I go with liquid because it's cheaper. Is literally what it says on the bottle. What it is cod livers, the livers from the fish cods that are fermented, and then the oil is extracted and boom, you get a bottle of fermented cod liver oil. So it is an entirely natural product. Often when we go down the supermarket aisle and we buy multivitamins and all the other vitamins that we might want, actually tend to be synthetic, whereas this is a completely natural supplement, which is partly why I really like it. It's also very different to the cod liver oil that you might find in Boots or in just your supermarket, as that tends to have been heavily pasteurised, meaning it's been heated up quite a lot, processed very heavily, often with things added to it. So actually a lot of the nutrients, the rich nutrients that are in it naturally, that are naturally in kind of cod liver oil, is kind of lost through that process, because vitamins and minerals are pretty fragile, temperamental things. If you heat them up, if you leave them outside for too long, if you do any small change to them, they often reduce in their strength and you can often just be lost. So this fermented cod liver oil is nothing like cod liver oil in the shops. I wouldn't necessarily recommend getting the cod liver from the shops unless you know it is really, really high quality and really actually has really seen a fish at some point in its life. It tastes like fish, so it's not the tastiest of things, but I take about a teaspoon a day. But why bother taking it? Why would you want to take a teaspoon of fishy tasting stuff? Well, the great thing about fermented cod liver oil is that it's got quite a lot of omega-3 fatty acids in, which are really good for skin, hair, energy, brain, body, just everything. And a lot in our Western diets we have very high amounts of omega-6 fatty acids, which are inflammatory. They cause an inflammatory reaction in our body, and actually what we really need in our body is a really good balance of omega-3s and omega-6s, not this sort of imbalance of things. So that is a benefit. I wouldn't probably say that's the main benefit. The main benefit is it's a natural source of both vitamin A and vitamin D. And now these are nutrients that often are really lost in our modern diets through different food processing, farming methods, all these different things, but are actually essential to our overall well-being. I discovered a couple of months ago, just through research and my own symptoms, that I was probably actually vitamin D deficient. I live in Glasgow, there's not a lot of sun, you know, the sun shines maybe for like 6 hours in winter, and so I realised actually I was going to need to get some vitamin D, but vitamin D in itself is quite a complicated vitamin and you can't just take a capsule of it or whatever. Often vitamin D is best generated in conjunction with lots of things and through sunlight mainly, so I just decided to start taking this product. And actually often with vitamin A and vitamin D, that can deficiencies in those things can lead to lots of different skin problems or lack of energy and just a whole host. You know, any vitamin that you feel like you're deficient in your body actually will cause just a whole host of problems, because our bodies are focused and made to work with all these different vitamins, and if we're lacking in one, actually our body has to work overtime to try and make up for it in some sort of ways, which is often why your skin can go weird, your body, your bowels can go weird, your stomach, your energy levels, all that kind of things, right? It's really key to learn to listen to your body and to learn to figure out what it needs, what it's telling you, what your symptoms are communicating. So it's also got loads of high and loads of other things like vitamin C, and it's just a natural source of health. The benefits that it can have, so that's a bit about what's in it. The benefits that it can have, I wrote them down because there were so many, are things like for joint pain. There's been studies and things shown that actually it really helps with any sort of joint pain, but also things like rheumatoid arthritis and actually anything that causes an inflammatory reaction in our body, that causes things to swell, or in Chinese medicine would call it a kind of like a hot reaction. So it could be joint pain or asthma or sinuses or things like that. It's also really good for pregnancy or in breastfeeding. It's safe to take with in pregnancy, although it's always good to discuss these kind of things with midwives and health professionals before you make any changes, or if you're up the duff. It also helps, there's studies done that shows it helps with diabetes and the vision and the problems that you can sometimes have with vision within diabetes, and it really helps along with that. It also helps promote calcium and magnesium absorption, and magnesium and calcium work kind of not quite in tandem, but they both need to be of a good balance, and actually magnesium is essential for good sleeping, for a well body, for or just loads of different things, for energy. I find it helps with my back problems, but that's a whole other vlog in itself. But also because it helps because it promotes calcium magnesium absorption, it also helps to reduce blood pressure, which is really good. So if you have hypertension or struggling with that, actually, as you'll know, that I would recommend that you eat fats, but also having a supplement like fermented cod liver oil will actually really help to lower your blood pressure. It's also really good for producing breast milk and feeding babies in a really good way. Any sort of stiffness within your body, and I find it also really helps with my overall sense of well-being, my immune system. It really gives me a bit of a boost. I think over winter I had 2 days where I didn't take it and I got ill, whereas the whole month prior to that everyone had been ill around me and I had been totally fine because I was taking it every day. So I think it gives a real good immune system, and the benefits that I've found from my body, like how have I found it? I've had it for about 2 or 3 months, and I just find it really helps with my immune system, really just a sense of well-being from having it. I'm also noticing some skin problems that I've had for years actually slowly starting to disappear, and slowly starting to get smooth skin and stuff that doctors didn't know what the problem was. Actually, I'm starting to see my skin actually really improve. I think it's helping my energy levels. Also, it really helps with bowel regularity and any issues with like that. I've found that to be really helpful. So overall, I found it to be an absolutely brilliant product. I was totally skeptical because it is expensive. A bottle of this size costs about 40 quid. So it's not cheap, because I think the way it's processed is very traditional, it's very time consuming, and then it gets imported, so it does make it expensive. So I saved up for about 6 months in order to buy it, but can honestly say actually it's really worth doing. I think that, along with probiotics, if those are the only supplements you ever take at certain periods in the year, actually that will do your body so much good. And I take about a teaspoon a day, but you can listen to your body, you can take less than that, and I've just found it actually to be really helpful, and part of my own healing, my own energy, my own immune system, my own sense of strength and well-being. It doesn't taste good, so often they give you a syringe that you can take it in, where you would fill it up, and maybe it tells you it's very handy, about a teaspoon's worth, and I often just have to wash it down with water. So it's not for the faint-hearted. But you can also get capsules, they're just more expensive. But I just highly recommend it if you're struggling with fatigue, if you're struggling with any sort of arthritis or joint problems, skin problems, if you're just needing a low immunity, if you've been having loads and loads of colds. If you can afford it, I highly recommend trying it. Just buy one bottle, save up for a couple of months. Maybe just don't buy some Starbucks or Costas for a month. Maybe just don't go out for lunch, or not eat meat for 2 weeks or something, and budget your way around it and just try it, and then let me know how you get on. I have been convinced, from fermented cod liver oil skeptic to fermented cod liver oil fan, because everything I read about it just tells me how amazing it is for your body. If you look below this post, you'll find other links to more detailed posts about fermented cod liver oil, its benefits, what it does to your body. Also, if you're bothered about vitamin A toxicity, if you've heard about that, there's some great posts below as well, because actually, basically, vitamin A toxicity only happens if you don't have vitamin D as well. They work together. If you're only taking synthetic vitamin A, you could get toxicity problems, but if you're taking it in a natural form in conjunction with vitamin D, then basically you'll have no problems. But please let me know any questions you have in the comments below. All you need to do is just put your email in, and then when you want to leave a comment again, it'll be really easy. You won't need to sign up at all, but I'd love to hear from you, or come and say hello on my Facebook page and let me know if there's any foods that you want to know what it is, or you want it to be demystified, and I will do my best to help you. It's lovely to see you. Have a brilliant weekend, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.